Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Yvonne and you are on Ginger Chick Rehab, where I love to take secondhand, pre-loved, thrifted items and share the process with you of what I do to these items along with my vision of recreating these and making them into something new. So in today's video, it's just that. And I love decoupage paper. I don't know about you all, but Rocycle just came out with her spring line. And of course I had to get my hands on it, and that's my cat. And of course I had to get my hands on it. Sarah from Piglets Closet set me up. So let me share my inspiration with you all of what I did with some of the paper. So now that I have the beautiful paper, I just needed to look at my stash to see what I had that I could make over. Now that's always the hardest part, is trying to figure out the size and the size of the item and what you can put it on. But I think this thrifted planter watering can, I can fit one of the half. There's one that you can cut in half on this paper that I think will fit on here perfectly. As I'm looking at this glued on fluorofoam, one of the reasons I don't like to do that when I make my own, I just put enough fluorofoam in there to be nice and tight, is having to try to remove it to clean it out. So using a heat gun, reactivating the sticky of whatever the glue was, which was really, it was more than hot glue. Those florals definitely used something different than I use. It was really runny and made a mess, but I finally achieved removing the foam, removing the sticky. Even though I'm going to be probably filling this up, I still wanted to get that out. No, it just would not pop out without a little bit of help of the heat gun melting it. So now I'm just going to go ahead and get this cleaned up and washed. I am liking the color of it, though I'm going to make it a little bit better of a, this is that fakey rust brown look, that which kind of spiked my inspiration of what I'm going to be doing to this next. And if you're a regular viewer, you knew it. I was going to be using the Dixie Belle's Patina. So I'm going to start off with the iron paint, but I'm not going to do the whole can. I'm just going to do the spout and the handle, and I'll paint the body of this watering can something different. But I definitely didn't want to leave just that fakey brown going on there when I knew that I had the patinas and I could make it better. So all I did was clean it off. It's not a super shiny surface. I'm not too worried about the paint sticking. I think it'll attach just fine. So I'm just dabbing on Dixie Belle's Iron Patina, which will give it that rusty kind of look when I add one of the patina sprays. So I'd like to do the dabbing motion because to me, rust isn't just brushed down. You don't see brush strokes of rust. You see buildup. You see like little clumps, so that's why I like to dab it on. So I wasn't worried about taping off the body. I thought, you know, if anything got on there, I can just wipe it off. So now that I have that all painted on, I'm going to go in and get my green patina spray. I'm going to spray that on there first. And there again, if it gets on the body, I can just wipe it off. Now the green patina spray with the iron paint is going to make that rusty red brown color. And then I cannot help myself because the color, I'm going to color match this with whatever the patina ends up turning into. So now I've got the blue patina, which makes that turquoisey green color, and I always have that almost just like on a drizzle, and I just hit it here and there, almost like how the rain would hit it from above. Now I just waited for it to dry to see what it was going to become, and it's gorgeous. Oh my gosh, is it ever gorgeous. Every metal takes a little bit differently than the next. I'm not sure why. It's just how it works. But oh, look at, would you just look at that. Gorgeous. Oh my gosh, how realistic does that look? So now I'm just taking some sandpaper on the body of this, just here and there, and some of that spray did get on there. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to take a moment and go ahead and sand that. Just want to really make sure that that patina spray is off, that it's not going to prevent my paint from sticking. So I'm going to give it one more wipe down with some Dawn dish soap and some hot water. And I think I have the perfect color match for that patina, where the blue turquoisey Birdie, hello, Birdie. Oh my gosh. I think this is a perfect match. And as I'm like spying my decoupage paper, I'm going for the one with the nest. So it's all just falling right into place. So milk paint is a powder paint that you need to mix water with. So it's equal parts paint, equal parts powder. Stir it for 2 minutes. Get it all mixed together, sit it off the side, and let it thicken up for like 2 to 10 minutes. When it comes to controlling where I'm painting, especially around the spout and the handle, and I don't want to paint that bottom, I can go really gingerly, nice and slow with the fan brush. The fan brush doesn't hold a ton of paint, but you don't need a ton of paint. So that way that I can just go along that little raised lip there, and then ever so slightly get the paint on. I rather just take my time, have fun, enjoy painting. I find it very relaxing. I even love watching other people paint. But this way that, as you see, it just slides right on once you get it started. I love fan brushes. I do use them a lot for detailed work. Oh, and who wouldn't love a one and done coverage, but it's just how it is. So especially with lighter colors, you got to go back and do a second coat. But the nice thing about it, that first coat really grabs onto that second coat and the coverage will be amazing. Now, milk paint is an unpredictable paint. It's made to look old-timey. It's made to chip, crackle, craze, which I did not prep this very much other than sanding it. So whatever it will do is what it will do. I want it to go with that age of the rust. So whatever happens, it happens. As soon as you think you can control what it's going to do, it does the opposite. But I don't mind the unpredictability of milk paint. I just really love that old-timey look. And I know it's not for everybody, but I enjoy it. So the fun of this paneled paper, I love these project sheets because you have 8 different projects you could do with just the one piece of decoupage paper. But for me, I'm going to split the one into half. Now that it's dry, the Birdie color is amazing. You can see I got some crackling, a little bit of crazing, some chippiness going on, which matches that little bit of the blue patina spray that I sprayed on there almost perfectly. So yes, I'm just going to use the top half of this where the bird's nest is, and then I can save that other half for another project. So you see now if I put my image on there, that would be just fine. But I want to keep with the age of what I have going on here. And plus the image would just be overpowering. You wouldn't really see a lot of that Birdie paint behind there. So first off, I'm going to go ahead and take some of the Fusion's Decoupage Transfer Gel to adhere it onto a piece of copier paper. Now that's going to give me a little bit thicker of a paper to work with, and it's also going to pop my image a little bit more. Not only do I want it to be a little bit on the thicker side, I'm also leaving a little bit of a free edge of the copier paper. And that is because I want to go ahead and burn my edges. I really want to give it that old-timey look. Now, this is my first time using the Decoupage transfer gel to burn my edges. A lot of times I've used Mod Podge, but I switched over to the transfer gel because it doesn't bleach out my image. So I really like that. So you can see that what it's doing, the lighter is just burning most of the copier paper, and whatever it burns, I just let it kind of go into even the paper a little bit more. Usually once the paper is wet, it won't burn. So that's kind of how it just kind of stops. And are some places that maybe they dried a little bit faster. Maybe I didn't put on the transfer gel on as thick as I did other places, but I like that imperfection of it all. I like that it doesn't just look like a frame. I decided to take a little bit more off the top. There is a line there. I want you to see more of the birdie color behind there. So even after you get something, you're like, I think I want a little bit more. So yes, I just keep a little metal thing of water. I just have a wet wipe in there, and so I just extinguish it if it doesn't go out on its own. I'd like to thank the viewers who had suggested that maybe it would be easier to use a open flame candle, but y'all, my hair is very flammable. I have long hair. I use a lot of hairspray to control this beast of curls. So, and if you can't even tell how far back my head is when I am doing this in general, I do not want to catch my hair on fire. Just the paper, so I'll just use the lighter. This technique is amazing. It gives wonderful age and edges, and if you get a little smoky residue, that is just even better because it just really makes it look like it's even older. Wow. So now all I'm going to do is use that transfer gel on the back of it, and we're going to adhere it onto that watering can. Using a dry cloth, I'm just going to lay it on top of the decoupage paper, then start to work it, making sure that I'm trying not to rub that paper while it's wet too awful much with my bare hands. Sometimes accidents happen and we still end up ripping the paper just a little bit, but we'll figure out how to fix that later. So I tried burning it, I tried doing a little bit of wax. Nope, that copier paper is like, nope, I'm not going anywhere. Now it's finally dry. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go into my transfers and see if I have anything that coordinates. So IOD's transfers, the Millet pages, beautiful. Found something, little butterfly moth that coincides. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm getting that all covered up. You know, oops, it was a boo-boo, and I could not get that copier paper to do anything. So we'll just hide it with a transfer. It's always nice to have other stuff in your arsenal that you can use. Because I let this dry on its own, so it's all dry so I could put that transfer on there, I thought I would just add some of the Homestead Wax, which is made by the Fusion Company, just to seal my paper in and protect it. But as I'm rubbing on it, it kind of did distress the paper a little bit, especially where that little raised area was. But you know what? I kind of liked it. Normally, I would have just put more of the decoupage transferring gel on top of it, but I thought I need to wax the milk paint anyway, so why not go ahead? So yeah, and I needed to seal in where I used the patina spray. So my thought process was just use an all-in-one clear wax on the whole thing. It worked, but it did distress the paper a little bit, but yet again, it's giving it that age. You just have to be very careful that I'm not going all the way back down to another copier paper incident, but no, it didn't. And you just kind of get that wax on there, and then you start wiping the excess off. And it is a wonderful top coat, but you can kind of see where it distressed that one little line, but I like it. So the wax kind of build up in the spout holes, so I'm just taking an X-Acto knife point and digging that out. If you don't, when it's built up like that, it's just going to be a white caulk it's going to look like. So just take a moment to get that cleaned out. Then I'm going to go in with some of the gilding wax, in the rust color, and I'm just going to go around that rolled edge on the bottom and on the top just to blend it in with what I did on the spout and the handle. So it's not going to be a complete match, but it is going to rust it up a little bit and not just be that brown paint job. So just a little bit of dab, and it's a nice little like fix it all. If you've done the patinas and you want to tweak them a little bit, this is a wonderful product for that. Did I say I love everything about how this turned out? Now I'm going to go ahead and fill this up with some Florafoam. We're going to put a little bit of florals in this. And as I said, I just get the Dollar Tree Florafoam and I just pack it nice and tight that it doesn't move around. Keeping with that brown color, I thought I would go for these wood curls. Yes, they are wooden. They are bendable. They're little curlies. Just like using Spanish moss or some grass, I thought the color would coordinate beautiful with them, and I just picked these up at Hobby Lobby. For my florals, I'm going to go with the neutral of the beige Baby's Breath from Hobby Lobby. Look at how it coordinates with the decoupage paper. And the nice thing about this neutral of the Baby's Breath is it doesn't overpower it. You just see this, the whole thing is beautiful. The flower's not taken away from the decoupage paper or the Birdie color. It all just coordinates and flows. So can I make this new age galvanized planter that actually has a hole in the bottom look better? Thrifted, secondhand find. So let's see what we can do to it. The attraction to me was the handles and how short it was, and I liked the ribbing on it. I thought that was very unique. No, this probably isn't going to be extremely easy, but this is a little bit on the shinier side. I know that New Age Galvanized has quite a top coat on it, so I'm just taking some 220 sandpaper just to scuff it. Now, just like the previous one, I'm not painting the whole thing in a color, and I'm not going to rusty crusty this. I'm going to let the galvanized top and the galvanized bottom stay what they are, but I am going to scuff up the middle part. Why, yes, you do see pink. Yes, I am using Tickled Pink for this one. I think it coordinates with one of the decoupage paper squares. Oh my goodness. No, I don't use a lot of pink, but when I saw this like a dusty rose almost type of pink, I thought, I think that's the pink for me. And how amazing is this hillside scenery, the little sheep at the bottom. Though, yes, this image is much too large for what I need it for. So I'm just going to cut out the image itself. So now I'm going to be doing the same thing that I did previously. I'm going to use some of the Decoupage transfer gel by Fusions to attach the decoupage paper to a piece of copier paper, and we're going to burn the edges also after I cut it out from the copier paper. I chose to go with the same wax, and so I'm just using that Homestead wax to wax the entire piece. But then I'm like, oh yeah, this had a lot of the little ribbing, so it did take off and give some nice age that blends in with the burning on the paper. But it's that perfectly imperfect. It's that old-timey look, and I love it. I know it's not for everybody. Some people like that crisp paint job and that crisp piece of paper. It's just a personal preference. Unfortunately, I thought that I had my paper center, and maybe it slipped when I put the towel on, but it'll be what it'll be, because once that milk paint got wet, that is where it's going to stay now. So same thing, we're going to fill this up with some flower foam, and I'm going to use the same Sweet Baby's Breath to fill this in because it matches the decoupage paper so well, and it's such a neutral floral. So what did you think? Yes, just simple, taking some cheap metal tins, maybe they were planters, maybe florals came in them, and making them into amazing home decor. Rusty crusting just the handle and the spout. Oh my gosh, that had my heart. Matching the paint up to kind of coincide with the paper and the rusty crustiness. Oh, I just love how they both turned out. Burning technique, I just absolutely love the age that the burning technique gives. Now, before I've done the burning technique with Mod Podge, so it was like a little bit more controlled. And I noticed the transfer gel, you got to be careful, but I still loved it. I still loved that it actually burnt in a little bit. And it could just be I didn't have as much of the transfer gel on there. But anyway, let me know down in the comments below, have I inspired you to go check out Sarah at Piglets Closet and see if you can get some of that new recycled decoupage paper. So again, thanks for watching today's video. As always, if you're part of our YouTube family, thank you so much. And if you're new and you're checking out this channel for the first time and you liked what you saw, and you love to thrift, you love to make over items, not only just if you're a reseller, just to add them into your own home decor. So again, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time, and you can see what we're up to. Bye. Tater stole one of my brushes. The daily occurrence of brushes being on the island for me painting. He thinks it's his new play toy. Because it rolls, of course, because it rolls, right, y'all? It rolls. And he thinks I'm going to throw it for him like it's a ball. No, I'm not. But you're cute, and I'll let you play with it.